Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines in our beautiful city. Today it's all gonna be about detailing certain parts. We want to wrap up a couple of districts we're not quite happy with just yet. We're also gonna correct a couple of mistakes we can find, such as this tunnel that got built in a weird way. We also want to fill up some of the gaps. So no new city parts today, but we are gonna make things very beautiful and the city can develop in the background. Also, yeah, since I enabled the disasters again, we are back to old habits, but that's fine. Today we're gonna plant at least 1,000, no, what am I talking about? Today we're gonna plant thousands of trees. The first thing I want to wrap up is the old town, our very first district. There are still a couple of gaps we can fill up. Especially this part here. I would like this to have a lot more foliage. Also, maybe we can place a stone here or there. Once again, I should mention, since we are going for the entire map with the city, I cannot take too much care of details such as placing benches and bins that you cannot see as soon as you zoom too far away. The overall decoration, I think, should be visible from a height such as this. And the reason for that mostly is because if we do that around the entire city, naturally it's gonna take us 100 million hours, but also it's gonna slow us down way too much. We're gonna reach the prop limit. So we're gonna keep things simple while still trying to stay aesthetically pleasing. So if you're offended by a lot of tree placing, then I guess this might not be the episode for you. Alright, I kicked things off with a little forest here along the canal, and if we manage, I would like to bring some stones in here. So maybe we can place them somewhere else and then move them. Can I grab you? Is this even possible? Yes, okay, that's gonna be great. Get out of the way, freaking Zeppelin. Yeah, there we go. That's approximately what I wanted to see. You can do a lot of stuff with the stone. Let's also fix this bridge, maybe. This can go down slightly more, something like that. And then I also see this power line is messing with the terrain a bit. There we go, much better. I can actually also fix the terrain beneath the pole. That's maybe handy to know. I think we could do with a couple more stones here. Maybe now it's time to move my pumps. I'm a little bit afraid though. If I remove them, I could flood the entire district. I'm not sure. By the way, guys, once again, I would like to thank you for the tremendous amount of support you've given this series recently. It's just absolutely amazing how many new faces are joining this channel every day. Thank you so much. Now, admittedly, this is a little bit weird, but I think I cannot fix that without removing the entire thing. Can I? Oh, actually, I can terraform here. I take it back. Ah, that's so handy. Why didn't I try that before? Nice. Right then, let's try to relocate some of these pumps. We're gonna put them all the way up here. I want to make sure they also have the power and are actually hooked up to the network. Just going for this pipe. Okay, that shouldn't change anything with the water demand. However, we are not pumping out as much water. And if I do that with all the pumps at the same time, I believe we're gonna have some flooding. But I think we can go with a second one. So we're also gonna move that up there. And now we're just gonna do that for each individual pump until we see something is going wrong. Yeah, we can already see there is more water being pushed towards the playground. It's just a couple of children, so it doesn't really matter. They have accomplished nothing in their lives yet. And then as of this point, I would like to set up a key. I'm not sure, can I? It's just gonna remove the stone, isn't it? Yeah, and it's still not enough space. Okay. Maybe to solve that problem, instead we're gonna move the pumps a little bit forward and then I might be able to set up the key at least. Ah, no, okay, I was using the wrong thing, the flood wall, of course. We want to go with the key. I'm such an idiot. Give me something good, something usable. Okay, I can work with that. And then we are just taking the other turn around and right here we can actually move this into the stone. Actually, let me make this a little less extreme. Okay, that's gonna work out. I'm gonna relocate 2 more pumps and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. There is the flooding. Oh, man. Okay, well, it's just gonna be for a little while. Just a couple... Wait, hold the phone. That is... Why does it have to be so excessive? Oh no, the graveyard. What you gonna do? I'm sorry, it's only gonna happen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 more times! Okay, I'm done. with the pumps, but that didn't really make things better. We are in a sweet crisis at the moment. Man, these freaking pumps are always messing with my mid-game. Well, let's try to expand the key as much as possible and just use every opportunity whenever the waves are retrieving to place more of it. To help this out temporarily, I'm actually gonna place another pump here. Let's also hook that up to the system, and that hopefully is gonna get rid of that problem. I really need that tram loop here. That needs to be functional. Where's my pumping service when I need them? Yeah, there we go. The tram just got despawned. Ah, that's not good. No, come on, hurry up. I think I'm gonna expand the landscape here just a little bit, help this out. I already regret doing that, I have to admit. Let's also raise the terrain here a bit. Okay, nice. Now I should be able to make my key here. Finally, now we're at least in the stage where we have a key all around the beach. Now it's all about adjusting it to make it somewhat believable. Also, we might want to lower the terrain in certain instances again. Okay, nice. This is probably approximately what I want. And I just noticed, I think we're now going down with the money. So maybe slowly but surely that is gonna be a concern and we'll have to take care of our budget. But until then, it's time for more trees. We're gonna go for these palm trees. I think they still look good on the sand, though I kind of want to space them out maybe a bit. Actually, this would have been a good instance to use the tree brush. But yeah, you know me, I'm all about efficiency. Good, then we're gonna have a little tree line with bigger trees all around the houses here. And maybe, just maybe, we can set up a tiny rock here. I really don't appreciate that they don't have different sizes of rocks. I mean, they're all pretty darn big, I have to admit. And then if you go into the smaller category, they're still big, and then suddenly they're just tiny. So I guess we're gonna do our own structure here. Good enough. Let me just do that for the rest of the gaps we have going on here. And then I guess we are already done with the old town. Alright, I am back and now I consider the Old Town District completely finished. We can move on to the next target. However, I wanted to give you a brief cinematic overview, so that's exactly what we're doing here with the cinematic camera mod. I know my usage of trees and stones is gonna be quite excessive for some, and I understand if that turns you off. However, I truly believe filling up the empty patches with those two objects for the most part is the way to go to beautify the city on a large scale. Of course, there are going to be a few parts in the city we take a little bit more care of, such as the amusement park. That is quite a detailed thing, but overall that's going to be the basic gist. Before we continue our endeavors, there are two things I want to mention. Yesterday I released a video, Scrap Mechanic Survival. I highly recommend you to watch this. This is going to be an incredible project if it works on my channel. This game is totally up my alley, and I'm almost positive you won't regret diving into that series. Another change I wanted to mention on my channel is the monetization. I decided to go with mid-roll ads, just one at the 10-minute mark. However, I don't want to punish my regular viewers, the ones that are watching the video within the first 24 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have no mid-roll ads as usual, and then after 24 hours, or usually when the next video is gonna release, I'm gonna enable the mid-roll ad. So whenever you are early, you will have no mid-roll ad, and if you're watching the video later, you will have one. Except you disabled it, or there is no ad. You get the basic gist. Anyways, it's now time to continue with the Old Town West District. And I decided, this is just a temporary thing. Whenever I needed power, I added another geothermal power plant. However, there are much better options. We are eventually gonna go for the nuclear plant, but I want to set up a separate area for this one. What we're gonna do instead is use these thermal energy conversion plants, and if I'm not mistaken, we should also be able to set them up here alongside the river. Also, I just see these roads are pretty crappy. Maybe we can space them out a little bit better. There we go, that's much more believable. Anyways, we need to hook this up somehow, and I believe if we add a junction here, this shouldn't hurt us. Let's maybe go with an industrial road for this one, and I think we can do this with a little curve. Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna work, and it's definitely gonna provide us more power than the geothermal power plant. Yeah, there we go. Power output 480 megawatts, but it costs us 6,400 per week. The geothermal power plant only producing 80 megawatts costs us 1000, so the ocean thingy-mabob is definitely the better choice. Okay, that means we can get rid of a bunch of these. Do I get some money back? Probably not. Let's get rid of maybe 4. If we're lucky, we can do them all. Yeah, looks like we can delete them all. That's my preferred solution anyways. In this case, I think we're gonna spice up this district with a bunch more shopping and offices as well. Right here, yeah, let's fill this up with offices, kind of conclude this. We probably also want some office spaces around here, and then the rest we can fill up with forests. Now let's see if we can actually fix this. Maybe I'm just gonna set up a bunch of rocks here. Usually that works out for me. Actually, if we go for the big ones, right there, we can set up a bunch like so, and let's get another one. Yeah, a group of those. Yeah, kind of works out for me. This here though we can definitely fix. It just takes time, and that's why we have to do some of these episodes every now and then to get closure on some districts. I guess the Old Town West is gonna be pretty straightforward. I don't want to have anything in here except a bunch of trees and rocks. The same counts for this area. This is gonna be divided so nobody's spotted by the highway. I thought about adding a park or nature's reserve, but then I remembered I have these recycling centers that would kind of destroy the looks. So I guess we are gonna do a bunch of rocky things and then trees as soon as the pollution is gone. I mean, at least here we have the space for a bunch of the rocks we never had the space for because they were too big. And if we just mush up a bunch together, we might be able to get some interesting features. Yeah, and that's why we don't want to build trees inside of the pollution. They just look pretty ugly. Okay, nice. That actually looks believable, especially because we have this thematically across the entire city. Maybe that's just a feature of the overall landscape. Okay, nice. So far, so good. Placed a bunch of rocks here and trees. I surrounded our water tower areas. I placed a bunch of huge rocks, filled this up with forest. We also have this all full with forest. I think right here I want to leave an open field. What's going on? What are you guys doing again with the lane changing, you idiots? Okay, well, what's the traffic doing, by the way? 75%. Okay, that means we know there's an issue. I just wonder what exactly did I do that caused this in that very moment. Yeah, you know, the biggest problem is still the lane changing here. This simply doesn't work, this setup. So I think what I want to do is delete this. Can I delete this? Maybe, yeah, the backspace key. Instead, what I want to do is just take a simple road and add an additional node. This has been one of the suggestions. So what if we added the node? Maybe this is not the best spot for it. Maybe I can add a node here though. This is kind of a bridge. Let's see, is this gonna remove my rock? Hopefully not. Okay, great. Now I can remove this again and the node should still be here. Yeah, there we go. Now they have an additional node to do the lane changing. Maybe now we can make it a bit smoother by only allowing them to change one lane instead of two. We still have to do this one though. This should all be straight, so people are not interfering with each other in the intersection there. Okay, nice. That actually seemed to have cleared things up. But they are still changing lanes here at a point I don't really want them to. Couldn't you decide before that? Yeah, this is simply not smooth enough. I think I want to control S all of these nodes. So you control S and then the bridge at least should be smooth again. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. And oh well, I guess at some point they have to change the lanes, you know. But I still see some cars changing 2 lanes at a time. So I think what we should do is grab this node and tell them only to change 1 lane. If they wanted to change, for instance, this guy should be able to go here. And then this guy should be able to go into all of the directions. And then those guys just remain here or go in. Actually, this guy can also stay in. Maybe I did that more complicated than necessary, but this way they only change 1 lane. And yeah, look at that. That actually looks like it made things smoother. And then this way they only have to change 1 lane here anyways, so I don't have to do anything with the next node. Wow, okay, that actually fixed a lot more than I anticipated. What's the traffic doing now? 77%? Yeah, I guess let's just wait for that part to clear up. Also, what's going on here? I guess that tram intersection isn't at the best spot. We might want to do the loop into the other direction so the tram only has to cross this road once. It's clearing up, this part at least. Okay, that's also clear. That means we somewhere have another problem because we're still at 75%. This is going good. Okay, that's all green. Nice. What's going on here? Oh my god. We have a gridlock. Right. How is this even happening? Okay, we have too many vehicles coming in and then... Let's try to fix that with the node tool as well. I only want people that go to the right here to actually use the right lane. So if we take this node, they can go here and there. But if they take this lane, they are forced to go straight. And if we do this pattern for all the intersections, this should work out. Said and done. For all the nodes in the center, I just want them to remain in the lane they chose before. Now, let's hope this is actually gonna change something. Well, at least it's already... Wow. I didn't expect them to clear up this quickly. Okay, let's actually have a look at this and just wait it out. I want to see this clear up. Okay, I've been looking at this for a couple of minutes and I decided this is not going to clear up the way I anticipated. Maybe we have to make the roundabout a bit larger. 4 lanes would probably be perfect, but again, we don't have a one-way road that is 4 lanes. So we're just gonna go with this 6-lane road. We're gonna delete the pathway in the process, but the 6-lane road has a sidewalk attached. So I guess, yeah, let's just go ahead and upgrade this. We probably have to remove traffic lights. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Traffic lights. Okay. Go away. Now, let's see the traffic flow. Man, I shouldn't even be working on this. We're at the moment detailing, but I'm gonna get back to that in just a second. I just want to make sure that the 2 right lanes are only being used to actually get off the roundabout. That fixed the problem. We can see the traffic is gone here. What's the traffic do? Oh god, what's going on? Okay, I see something here. Well, actually, that's pretty fluent. That's probably not the cause. Let me see. There's some stuff going on here. No. Man, sometimes I just don't understand the fluctuations. I mean, I didn't have any issues for hours of playtime with this. You know, actually looking at this, it slowly seems to dissolve itself. I'm just gonna wait it out, I think. Well then, I would say it's time to wrap up today's episode. I finished this part as promised. This might look a little bit generic. I think we have to loosen this up and then fill it up with some other colors as well. So every now and then we're gonna have one of these trees and then just a couple of the tall ones. And as I said, I wanted to leave this a little bit more open, decided to go with just a bunch of trees. I might decide to actually decorate the highway too, but I mainly achieved my goal to finish the Old Town and Old Town West, at least this part right here. Like, this is the border that I consider finished. We still have lots of work to do with the Twin Peaks district, especially if I think about... No, actually they are doing pretty well with the upgrading part. But still, I'm not too happy with the looks yet. But check this out. I mean, Old Town West and the Old Town itself, they're pretty dope if you ask me. Now, of course, we don't want to completely fill up everything with trees. We're gonna fill up a lot of the gaps with small parks and buildings, maybe unique stuff, maybe plazas as well. We're also gonna fill up a lot of the bigger gaps with parks. There's another fire going on. But maybe stuff like that, this could easily become a park. Why the heck not? We even have a park entrance here for the zoo, so we could have another one for a generic park. Same thing with this area. This is all stuff I'm not happy with. It's not very realistic. Inside of the city, I think all of these surfaces would be utilized in some way or the other. But anyways, I would say with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for the support. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.